It's the hope that kills you, right? Welcome back to MUFC versus everybody. Although today it kind of feels like MUFC versus ourselves. Obviously, United just blew a come from behind 3-2 over Chelsea to end up losing the match 4-3 in the final minutes. Sound familiar? Here's my thoughts. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. And let's dive right in. What can I say? We did not look good in those first opening minutes, did we? We just, once again, couldn't string a pass together, couldn't hold on to the ball, couldn't get anything going, and it was not good. Chelsea were just all over us. They were getting chance after chance, opportunity after opportunity, and it's been kind of the story of the season. I know to some extent, I think part of the plan is to soak up that pressure, not in a Jose Mourinho way, but in a like let's transition, but transition further back. But it only works when you have the players who can actually do that. It only works when you can move the ball quickly, and we just can't. We don't take good care of the ball. We don't complete our passes, and it just doesn't work. And we didn't deserve that. We deserved to go down by 2 goals that quickly because we just didn't deserve anything more out of that. Problem is, it's like, what is it that makes United take conceding goals in order to realize and wake up that we're in a football match? Like, why do we have to get hit with a 1-2 punch and 2-goal conceded against a team like Chelsea in order for us to actually wake up? Obviously, we come back and we equalize, and then we get a third, and then Chelsea come back and get 2 goals. We'll talk about those in a second. I thought the ref was not making some good calls. I'm not blaming the ref. That's a tin pot excuse, but you can say the ref did not make some good calls, but also not blame the ref for a loss. I mean, like I said, we just didn't deserve a whole lot. Same with Brentford, but I thought that we weren't getting a lot of fouls called for us that we should have gotten called. And well, to dive into Chelsea's goals, sorry, but those 2 pens were the softest pens I've ever seen given in recent memory. Barely any contact. And I think that if Chelsea feel good about that, I mean, it is what it is. But that first one, how much contact was there really? I mean, let's be honest. If Gabriel can bear hug Rasmus Højlund in the box early in the season and there's a no call there, it's immediately waved off. I don't understand how these are given. That last one, I think what does it for us, and with that last one that Dalot gave away, even though he trips and falls, even though there's barely any contact, what gives it away, honestly, for me, is his reaction. You can see that he is disappointed in himself. You can see that he knows he messed up. And I think if he hadn't done that, I think it might have gone the other way. But it is what it is. They're both soft penalties, and I think that God, that was frustrating. The first goal that Chelsea scored, I mean, how many times have we seen that goal time and time again, right? It was the same with Brentford. It was the same earlier in the Champions League. It's the same time and time again. Everybody gets sucked following the attacker with the ball all the way to the byline, and then a cutback. Yeah, it deflected, but it was still, the ball was intended to be a cutback to an open player at the edge of our box. You can argue that Onana really could have gotten that, it went right underneath him. Yeah, but still, the fact that those goals we give away those chances like that time and time again, this is simple, like day one stuff, is just embarrassing. I mean, what keeper do you fancy in that opportunity when there's a free player unmarked at the edge of the box and they have nothing but the goal to aim for? I mean, do you favor any keeper in that situation? Probably not. So it's a bit frustrating. Obviously, it's sloppy, and then the pens. I thought our goals were were good. We took our chances. Garnacho in particular, you can tell Garnacho was upset at not getting that hat trick. It would have made a really good story. Would have been really great for him. I think he's been a little struggling in recent weeks. I think, but he ran his socks off, and he was obviously Ten Hag saving him. I don't know why we take off Ahmad and we don't bring on. I mean, we take off Garnacho and don't bring on Ahmad, who I think could just control the ball a little better. We obviously, you could see Chelsea were pressing us, and you can see in those moments we're trying to play these little 1-2s and keep the ball. I think Ahmad would have been a lot better at that. What about that assist from Anthony? You know, on first watching it live, I thought that he put that in with his right foot, but I saw that he kind of hit that with the outside of the boot, and what a good take from Garnacho to get on that. So we look better, I think, in the attack. Obviously, Højlund is still recovering. I think Højlund seems like it's going to take him a couple matches to get back there. He was taking his chances. It was just, again, Chelsea, once they got those goals, they were kind of just congesting their area, making it really, really difficult. You can see the ball was kind of pinballing. It was like a mosh pit in their box, trying to get somebody to get a hold of it and lash it, and we were having trouble just finding space and time on the ball and those opportunities, and it was costing us a lot. I think my biggest frustration with this, obviously, other than not maybe bringing on Ahmad for Garnacho, who really looked tired later on in the second half, I think is, again, time and time again, and I said it in another video, we're up by a goal. We're within the last 10 minutes of the match, and you could see there were spells where we were trying to keep the ball, but we're trying to keep it, but you could tell we're not good at it, and you could tell we're not experienced with, at least the players, because they never look composed, they never look controlled. Even when we're playing those little triangles, we never look like we're in control. It still looks like Chelsea are forcing those passes and pressing us into those passes rather than we're kind of toying around with them. And even in those moments, what's frustrating is you still have these opportunities where rather than maybe pass it back and play boring, like I said the other day, make it boring, make it slow, keep the ball on the ground, we're still looking for that opportunity to dink one over the top, and it just plays into Chelsea's hands. They're waiting for that because we know that, and they know that that's what we're trying to do. When you get guys like Rashford and Bruno on the pitch in those moments, there's zero composure. They all want goals. They all want to go, go, go. And I don't know if that's a Ten Hag instruction thing or if that's just these players in that moment just lack the composure to slow things down, take care of the ball, and make it boring. Like, it sounds bad when I say it that way, but that's what I want. I want it to be boring when we're up by a goal, when there's final minutes, and we need to see out these 3 points. That was a big opportunity for us to seal that, and we just gave it away once again. Nobody's closing down. Was it Palmer at the end of that match? Nobody comes out to him on that set piece. They're pointing, and no one goes out there. I don't blame McTominay for that. I blame Dalot, I blame Bruno, who were not marking the player at the edge of the box and just giving that opportunity. So people who blame Onana for those kind of goals, they need to be looking at are just poor defending. No one's marking the space on there. No one's marking those runners and those players at the edge of the box, and it's a problem. We know that we're not good defending set pieces, especially when situations like that. Forget about clearing the whipped balls into the box. It's just those opportunities, and it's super frustrating. And that I do put on Ten Hag. What are we doing in training on these set pieces? I know he came out the other day and said, "Oh, we don't have time to train intensely because there's no time." Well, I thought maybe we would improve on our set pieces once Eric Ramsey left, because we've been poor under him when it comes to set pieces, both attacking and defending. But it's just more of the same. No one seems to know what they're doing, and it's not about knowing where to position. It's just about using your brain and using critical thinking, making decisions in the moment, making a wise choice. And we're just not doing that, and it's costing this. And that's what happens when you have players without footballing IQ. Man, that's frustrating. 8 matches left of the season. This, like I said earlier in another video, this needed to be points. Like 1 point or 3, preferably 3 point. We had an opportunity to get the single point, but we just let the lead slip again. And it's just, I don't know if we're tired, if we just switch off, or what combination of both, but it's not good. I do not think that those substitutions helped at all. But I don't know if we're just saving Ahmad for Liverpool, if that's like a McTominay thing where he thought, oh, Ahmad got me this goal against Liverpool before, I'll save him for that match and we'll do better. Like if that is the case, I'm not saying that is. If it is, that's not, to me, that's not good management. That's Moments FC management. But yeah, I don't know who you put this one on. We looked tired again. We had our moments. Our attackers looked a little better. Our defense was still a little shaky. And, we tend to struggle too when, like what Chelsea did today, when they doubled up on us on our fullbacks. You had Gusto and Palmer doubling up. You had Cucurella and who was it on their left side? Kept doubling up, and our fullbacks didn't know who to pick up, who to leave, who to follow. And our other defenders, again, lack of match IQ and like critical thinking in the moment, didn't know what to do, and we just kind of invite that pressure, and it was causing us problems. Thankfully, they didn't get too many chances from it. They had to be gifted 2 very soft penalties, but still, it's just there's a lot to be done in terms of training, in terms of tactics defensively, and I get we're down a lot of players right now, and Mount, Casemiro, these guys are coming back from injury. They're not quite up to it yet, but this is a crucial portion of the season. We can't afford to slip like this. We cannot, to quote, Steven Gerrard again, we cannot let this slip. And I'm not saying we have a hold of anything to let slip, but we need points. We need points. We need to hope Villa and Spurs drop points, which I hate doing. I don't like having to rely on other teams to drop points, but it's just the reality of the situation, and we don't have a choice. We have a really hard match coming up at the weekend. I'm not at all confident about it, and we don't look great. Liverpool look good. We do not look good, and then that's probably our last super, super hard match for a little while, but still, I think we have Arsenal later on. Not good. We just have to hope that Spurs and Villa have a tougher run. We have a hope maybe that we can salvage something from the season. There's still the FA Cup, like I said, but that when you get to the business as in the season, like I said earlier today, yeah, the FA Cup, is it enough? Is it not enough? It's one thing, but again, I think what's going to bother a lot of people is the performances. Not the what, but the how. How did we get there? How did we play? Which, at the end of the day, is hard to quantify as a tangible thing. Like, there's no trophy for style of play, but at the same time, playing well is going to get you trophies. So it's hard. It is what it is. United lose 4-3 away at Chelsea. I know that was probably a good result for Chelsea given their season. They're doing a lot worse than we are, and that 3 points is really going to help them. I don't think it's going to make a difference in terms of their season. It'll be interesting to see what happens with some of their players and Pochettino come the summer. It'll be interesting to see what happens with their owner come the summer. They have a lot of stuff and headaches on their end with FFP and PSR and everything to go through. So we're going to see how it goes. Those are my thoughts. Nothing crazy. It's just more of a reaction, obviously. But I'm interested to hear what you thought. Is that the deal breaker? Is that the straw that broke the camel's back for you with Ten Hag? Is it the players, or the players not performing today? Is it that Chelsea just wanted it more? Is this, if you were Ten Hag in, does this push you towards Ten Hag out? How do you feel about our chances for Champions League anymore? How do you feel about our chances for FA Cup? I mean, there's a chance we could have to play Chelsea again in an FA Cup final. The way they're playing, the way City have been not their best, who knows? So that's going to be it for me today. Short video. This, obviously this is MUFC versus everybody. Don't forget to hit a like, hit a subscribe, hit the bell notification. Follow us on Twitter. It's MUFC versus everybody. MUFC vs everybody. And I will see you on the next one. Thanks.